Hello there YouTube, I'm sorry I haven't uploaded in a while. Only until a couple of weeks ago I didn't have any free time, and I took a break from drawing since I really didn't feel like drawing. So I couldn't make thumbnails for videos, and I didn't want to upload videos without thumbnails since it doesn't look nice. So, and along with that, I didn't really have a proper deck to show off in videos, and I don't really have a proper way to record gameplay, so I was trying to figure out what deck to play in links, since Cyberse, yes, they are a link deck, but no, they do not work at all in any sort of competitive format, and hardly even are able to stand up against my friends in friendly duels. I don't think I've actually won a duel unless it's against another Cyberse deck with that deck. It's unfortunate, they need a lot more support before they can even begin to even be usable properly. So I was thinking, what deck could I play, and I've always wanted to build Destiny Heroes, and I tried them out, and they actually are really fun. They feel like Shadows for me, not literally with like the graveyard effects, but they feel as fun as Shadows to me, and Shadows are my favourite deck. This has probably taken its place. And I just wanted to show you a really fun, and actually relatively competitive Link deck, Link and Fusion deck, that can also perform Xyz. Because this deck can actually link summon really easily and fusion summon even easier. So I'm just going to start with the deck profile. You will need a few tokens. I use the Duel Links advertisement cards that you get with the Cyberse link thing because they just look nice. Let's start with the actual deck profile. I run 3 Destiny Hero Dreamer. This card has saved my life so many times. You can remove one to run another Vision Hero Viam, but I like running 3 of this because when it special summons itself from the grave, and that's literally, this is his effect. When he's in the graveyard, you special summon him to negate battle damage and destruction of a Destiny Hero monster during the battle phase. So he's saved my life a lot of times. So I run 3 because when it special summons this way, its banishment leaves the field, so I want to use this as much as possible. So I run 3, and I love the art. The art was just nice. Next I run 3 Destiny Hero Celestial. This card, when it's in the grave, except the turn it was sent there, you can banish it and another Destiny Hero to draw 2 cards when you have no cards in hand, so this card helps you get back when it's later in the duel, so it's more of a comeback card. And when it's on the field, when you declare an attack, you can destroy one of your opponent's face-up spell cards and inflict 500 damage to them, so it's good against Pendulum, but you mainly use the graveyard effect. Next is 3 Diamond Dude. Diamond Dude is really good because you reveal the top card of your deck. If it's a normal spell, it's sent to the graveyard, and then in your next main phase you can activate that spell, ignoring its costs. So if you, say, sent Destiny Draw, you would not have to discard a Destiny Hero to draw 2 cards. It literally becomes a pot of greed. So run 3 of him because he's good to get him, and he's a Destiny Hero, level 4 as well. So I run 3. Next, 1 Drill Dark and 1 Destiny Hero Decider. Drill Dark special summons a Destiny Hero from hand when it's normal summoned that's lower than his attack or more, well, attack equal or lower. And when Destiny Hero Decider is normal summoned, you can target 1 hero monster in your grave, add it to the hand, and when it's in the grave you can negate effect damage and return themselves to the hand. They're not overly useful, because you don't really summon your Destiny Heroes from your main deck Destiny Heroes. You mainly use them for fusion. So, but I have had to use Decider a couple times, and Drill Dark, just to make some Xyz, so run 1 just in case. Next is 2 Dino Tag, because I like playing Dystopia, so I run 2, especially also the fact that during the battle phase you can discard him to negate battle damage and inflict 1,000 to both you and your opponent. So he's extremely useful and has saved my life. I wouldn't say run more than 2, but he's really good at 2. Next is 3 Destiny Hero Malicious. This card is the reason this deck can work in links. It's a non-once per turn special summon. When it's in the grave, banish it, special summon another one from deck. And I've got a really good combo in the deck to make this activate 4-5 times in 1 turn. So Malicious is incredible in the deck. Next is 2 Vision Hero Vial. This is the card that I said remove Dreamer if you want to for a 3rd one, because Vion is incredibly good. When he's normal summoned or special summoned, you can send one hero monster from your deck to the grave, and then after that you can also banish a hero from the grave and add polymerization to your hand. You can only activate both of those once per turn, but you can activate both. Then 2 Shadow Mist. I really don't get why people run 3, because you don't want to see this in your hand at all. And running 1, you want multiple, because you're going to send multiple to the graveyard during the duel. So I'd say run 2 at most, so you don't see him as much. Then finally, for monsters, is 1 Gofu, since he's the instant decode talker, so it's useful. I have had the pain of drawing him with Hero Lives, and you'd rather do Hero Lives, since that helps your Destiny heroes more. So, and I've used it as a lure target and stuff. It is useful in the deck. I have used Gofu quite a bit though. So I would say run 1 Gofu. You can't run anymore because the ban list, yeah. So next is the draw cards and spells and traps. So 3 Destiny draw, discard 1 card, draw 1, discard 1 Destiny hero, draw 2. 3 allure, draw 2, banish dark, discard your hand if you don't. Very good in the deck. This is the card that makes Destiny hero malicious absolutely incredible. Because if you've got, I usually banish Shadow Mist with Vion's effect to add poly, and I've already used probably 2 malicious at that time, so I use the 2 malicious and the Shadow Mist to shuffle back into the deck with part of Acquisitiveness and draw a card, and then use the malicious that I've got engraved to summon another malicious. So this card is absolutely amazing. I forgot to mention, but most people know this anyway, Shadow Mist when sent to the graveyard adds a hero monster from your deck to your hand, so I usually activate Hero Lives if I have it, special summon Shadow Mist, uses effect to search Mars Change, send him to the grave for Darklaw, and then search for Vion to then send Malicious, and then special summon another Malicious and go for a Decode, and then continue my combos like that. But anyway, next is Reinforcement of the Army, because you've got a lot of level 4 and lower warrior monsters. 2 Hero Lives to summon your Shadow Mist from the deck. 1 Foolish Burial. 1 Soul Charge, since it's really good in links. Because you want to see it as much as possible, you run 3 poly. Do not run less than 3. You need this card at 3. You just do. Don't run less than 3. You'll brick so hard. Trust me. Next, though, is 2 Mars Change and 1 Mars Change 2. People usually only run 3 Mars Change in this. Well, Mars Change is good, but Mars Change 2 can unbrick you if you have it, because if you have Malicious in hand and he's dead in hand, you can discard him with Mars Change 2. So that's why I run 2 of the 1 and 1, 2. And finally is 1 Defusion. You can take this out for anything. I just like running it. But yeah, you can take this out for literally anything. I just like the card, so I run it. And then for the extra deck, my favourite extra deck monster in this deck is Dusktopia. This card has saved my life multiple times, too many times. You can target 1 monster in your field, and it can't be destroyed by battle or card effects, and you take no damage from the battle during, with that monster. Neither player does. On top of that, you can, when he's fusion summoned, use monsters on your field and grave. No, not field. On your field and hand as fusion materials for a fusion summon. So what I usually do is, if I'm able to do this combo where I have Decode Talker, summon Dustopia, and then summon Dystopia, costs a lot of materials, but if you get it done, you've got a really good board. Next is 2 Dystopia, since I love running this card. It's such a fun card to use. When its attack is different to its original during either player's turn, you can target 1 monster in the field, destroy it, and this card's attack becomes equal to the original attack of that monster. And plus, when he's summoned, you target 1 level 4 lower Destiny hero monster in your graveyard, and inflict damage to your opponent equal to its attack. So yeah, this card's good at getting over big beat sticks, and just in general a good card. Next is 2 Adoration. Target 1 other hero monster you control, 1 monster your opponent controls, and your opponent's monster loses attack equal to that monster. Next is 2 Darklaw. Since it's Darklaw, And finally is Destiny Hero Dangerous, which I usually use as a combo thing, because you discard a card, then send a card from your deck to the graveyard to increase this card's attack, but you mainly like send Malicious if you haven't already to get this card's effect off and then summon more things. I usually use that to summon Dusktopia. Next is Firewall Dragon, Decode Talker and Proxy for the links. I have pulled a Firewall Dragon multiple times in this deck. Very easy to Soul Charge. So where you have Decode there and Firewall there, allowing you to use Firewall's effect. So yeah, I run Firewall, you don't have to. I just like to, because it's cool. And then finally is Dark Rebellion and Utopia package, since good monsters. I'm probably going to take out Dark Rebellion for a second Dustopia if I can. You don't really need a second, I just probably want to get one. But at the moment, this is fine. This deck is does surprisingly well in links. It's like my friend Joey. I tried it against him first since I didn't know what to do, and I tried it against him against his Blue Eyes deck. He's actually really improved that deck, I have to say. And this is the first thing he said was, "This can either go really well or horribly wrong." And it went really well, and I'm really glad because this deck's so much fun. Especially Dustopia, I love this card to bits. I do really recommend trying this deck out. This deck can even play competitively, it's very consistent. I think I've only had 2 brick hands in the entire time I've used it at the moment. So, already better than most of my decks. That doesn't say much about me, does it? But I really, really like this deck, and I hope you guys try it out to see for yourselves how fun it is. So yeah, I'm sorry again for not uploading very frequently. Like I said, I didn't really get free time until a couple of weeks ago, and I didn't want to draw. And now it's going to be even harder again because I've got back on a different college course. So I wouldn't have free time again, so I'm sorry if I don't upload. I might try and upload a updated version of Cyberse. Once again, I didn't warn people in the last video. Yeah, that is probably one of the most consistent Cyberse deck builds you could have built back then, but it also isn't competitive or even good enough to beat people in friendly duels. It's not a very powerful deck at all. It's fun, but it's nowhere near powerful enough to stand up to most decks today. This deck can. This deck 100% can. It does really well, and I love this deck to bits. So please try this deck out if you can. It's so much fun. You can, if you have the budget, to get the 3 hero monster Vision Hero that doubles its attack, and it can attack 3 times. But I don't really have the budget for that, so I ran a Firewall instead. And I know that doesn't make any sense because Firewall's only £10 less, but I owned Firewall at the time already. So yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed the deck profile, and I'll see you guys in the next video.